Greetings all! Today, we will be examining the rare normal type Pokemon Happiny, the Playhouse Pokémon, its exceptionally rare evolution Chansey, the Egg Pokémon, and its equally rare final evolution Blissey, the Happiness Pokémon. While they might not look to have the chops needed to be any sort of threat to most, the members of the Happiny family are still unique creatures that can more than take a beating when put into the right situations.
Happiny have small light pink bodies with darker pink cheeks, black eyes, a series of 3 fleshy bulbs on their forehead, and a pink curled ponytail of hair with a dark pink organic knot of flesh keeping it in one piece. They have 2 small digiless arms with dark pink feet of similar form, their lower body having a dark pink color with a pink and white ring of flesh around their hips, and they always carry a small oval-shaped rock in a pouch of flesh on their belly area. The evolved form Chansey have a smooth light pink body with the same general face and limb structure, though their pouch has taken on a darker pink color and is almost always filled by a large white egg. They also have 3 dark pink tinged flaps of sensory hair on each side of their body shape resembling that of an egg as a whole. The final evolution, Blissey, have dark pink upper bodies and a white lower torso, but otherwise retain the same basic shape as their pre-evolved form, complete with smiling mouth and digiless limbs. They now have a series of hair quills that sprout off from around their waist and shoulder areas, and have additionally developed curly tufts of hair around the top of their head. The members of the Happiny family are among many species of Pokemon that are only known to exist as a single gender, even though they can still breed with other Pokemon. This is because Chansey and Blissey have the ability to effectively clone themselves and reproduce without suffering much damage to their genes in the process. In fact, it is estimated that the vast majority of modern Happiny and their evolutions are likely genetically identical to their ancestors from several thousand years ago, if not tens of thousands.
Stranger still is the fact that the members of the Happiny family are the only known monotremes within the Pokemon world when it comes to birth outside traditional Pokemon eggs, possessing no close relatives and effectively existing as the last members of the race within the modern world.
While Happiny themselves are mutants that do not have the capacity to breed at all, Chansey lay fertilized eggs every couple of months or so, and Blissey every month, the latter being the prime contributor to their numbers in the wild. Outside of this, the latter two will generally lay several eggs a day like clockwork, carrying them at all times within their front pouches. The limited fertilization period that these creatures have, and the limited number of fertilized eggs they can produce, is the prime factor behind their rarity in the wild, and it doesn't help that they are often hunted by humans and Pokemon alike because the unfertilized eggs are extremely nutritious and a great source of energy. These creatures are also much more effective at healing others and making good use of the special attributes of their moves than they are defending themselves in most cases, which is duly reflected in their capacity to possess natural Cure and Serene Graces-based abilities. And while Happiny that are a bit tougher than most and are willing to help defend friends from attack can have Friend Guard as a hidden ability, Chansey and Blissey that are able to make better use of their own eggs to help heal allies in the heat of battle can also possess Healer as a hidden ability. As far as the stats go, in the case of Blissey, it can be said that these creatures are not in any way built to really handle physical combat of any sort, and are not able to move their forms fast enough to beat most others to the punch, resulting in their base attack, defense, and speed stats being below average for a fully evolved normal-type Pokemon. However, they are able to take quite a beating from special attacks and deliver decently well on throwing out some of their own, and their HP reserves are beyond ludicrous, giving them above average base HP, special attack, and special defense stats for a fully evolved Pokemon of their type, and in fact, the highest base HP stat out of all known Pokemon, allowing them to take a pummeling and still keep right on going, so long as they don't put into a close quarters brawl. Happiny are mutated versions of Chansey that only arise when their parents are exposed to certain chemical odors, namely that from Luck Incense, and their abilities and powers are severely diminished and altered in comparison to their normal semi-adult forms. Unlike Chansey, Happiny are too small to produce their own eggs and will not be able to do so until evolution. Even so, Happiny have a habit of imitating Chansey and usually carry a smooth round white rock with them at all times as a surrogate, provided that the object is not heavy enough to make movement impossible. These aptly named oval stones are generally quite common and offer little significance in terms of physical composition, but the effect they have on the psyche of Happiny is tremendous. In essence, without an oval stone, a Happiny can never feel like an adult and duly cannot evolve from the larval stage into Chansey in the daytime. Although Happiny are tremendously weak and cannot protect themselves in almost any way, they are still as friendly as Chansey and possess many of the same personality quirks, though they will break from a well-behaved mental state when will cry, fuss, and throw a big tantrum if the stone they carry is taken from them, especially if they let someone borrow it as a kind gesture.
Aside from such incidents, Happiny will gladly play with anyone and will often give the oval stones to people they deem to be true friends, sometimes to the extreme annoyance of others. In fact, these little critters might become so playful that they will begin to literally dance around the feet of others, oftentimes causing them to stumble and fall. Since they usually mean no harm by it though, most people don't seem to mind.
It is also interesting to note that Happiny are oddly bothered by how curly their hair is, though there is no evidence present at the time to explain this behavior. It is likely, however, that it might just be an issue of aesthetics among the species and even the family as a whole. Chansey are exceptionally patient mothers and seem to treat every single egg they lay, fertilized or not, as if it actually did contain their future descendant. As such, they are very careful about how they walk so as not to damage the egg, although they are able to still run away from predators and trainers alike with alarming speed to keep the egg safe from consumption, having once been slow-moving before developing their running skills to avoid predators and protect their eggs.
When they no longer have any particular use for an unfertilized egg, a Chansey will generally find someone they deem to be kind or injured and give it to them as a gift. In the wild, this makes Chansey a tremendous benefit to other wild Pokemon, as the yolks of their unfertilized eggs are exceptionally packed with nutrients and are beyond delicious, making them a favorite food for many species and a high-class cooking ingredient.
The actual flavor and nutritional content of the eggs, however, is actually dependent upon the general mood and well-being of the Chansey that laid them. The happier and more lovingly they are treated by others, the better the eggs are. Regardless, it is safe to say that this alone makes Chansey highly sought after by people of all types, though the chances of ever finding one are still slim to none in most parts of the world where they roam. Even rarer are the two items associated with both the species and its entire family in general, the Lucky Egg and Lucky Punch items. The Lucky Egg is a curious egg imbued with the strange ability to increase the amount of experience Pokemon earn from battles when held, though the exact reason why is still unknown. The Lucky Punch, on the other hand, only works with Chansey and has the effect of increasing the chance of them scoring a critical hit as a result of increased physical strength. Unfortunately, due to the lack of actual physical strength to begin with, the usefulness of the item is all but nil.
Lastly, it is noted that there is one place where Chansey are not only easily found, but are practically a dime a dozen within Japan: Pokemon Centers. Because of their extremely kind natures and penchant for taking care of others, Chansey have become an almost constant staple among Japanese Pokemon Centers within the past few decades.
While Chansey are generally not the fastest of creatures, nor the best in terms of handling especially physical patients, they are very calm and patient with others and have more than enough stamina to work many hours at a time before needing any sort of break. In addition, Chansey themselves can actually heal other Pokemon with their patented soft boil technique outside of battle, though doing so takes away from their energy reserves, a fact that is generally of little importance considering the massive HP reserves. Most importantly though, Chansey are exceptionally intelligent and have been known to assist trained medical professionals in surgery on many occasions. Unfortunately, due to a lack of nimble limbs and adaptable features, Chansey are unable to perform delicate operations by themselves and are generally limited to roles as nurses in all cases. Even so, the benefit that they provide is more than helpful to the otherwise understaffed Japanese Pokemon medical community, and it is likely that the numbers will only increase among professional use as the years continue to go by. As with Chansey, the eggs of Blissey are inherently packed with a tremendous amount of nutrients and are the perfect treat for someone who is ill. Oddly enough, however, the eggs of Blissey differ noticeably in that they contain a large concentration of dopamine within them and thus generate a surprisingly potent feeling of joy within all who eat them. In essence, anyone who eats an unfertilized Blissey egg is guaranteed to become as happy, calm, and caring as the Blissey that laid it for at least a few hours and will treat others with exceptional kindness.
While this can often prove to be devastating to those who would otherwise like to maintain a rough image in the eyes of their peers, most people seem to find the experience exhilarating and simply can't get enough of it once they have tried it.
There have even been occasional talks among scientists in the interest of perhaps using Blissey eggs to make a portable drug with the same effects, but the nature of the egg's construction and actual chemical makeup has made it almost impossible to accurately copy and reproduce a similar effect artificially, in turn allowing the eggs to continuously fetch a high price on the market. It is further interesting to note that, despite Blissey being far more loving, caring, and powerful than Chansey, they are still rarely used among Japanese Pokemon centers. The reason, as luck would have it, is that Blissey are simply too caring. Though the process is still poorly understood, Blissey apparently have the ability to actually sense sadness and depression within other life forms with their extremely fluffy fur coat. The moment they sense any such emotions within an individual, even if they are nearly a mile away, Blissey will rush over to them and give them an unfertilized egg in order to cheer them up, and will often do the same to injured Pokemon, staying with them and taking care of them until they are healthy. In a hospital environment, however, it is often the case that many people feel at least a little bit sad or depressed, and a penchant for literally trying to make everyone happy all the time does not make an excellent nurse. This fact is only further hampered by the fact that Blissey are a bit clumsy at times and are not the best at keeping track of things, probably a direct consequence of their overly exuberant personalities. Nonetheless, Blissey can still be used as wonderful caregivers in the wild, as it will gladly take care of any injured Pokemon until they are fully healed, even if that injured Pokemon would rather make a meal out of their caregiver than receive treatment at all.
While they might not be built to handle battles where close contact is required for victory, the members of the Happiny family are still rare, unique creatures that can more than make a name for themselves if pushed into a conflict. You might have to make them suitable as defenders and healers for the most part to bring out their best traits, but mixing this in with some tactical moves like Toxic can help to make them the biggest issue to deal with that they possibly can be.
Just do yourself a favor and don't overestimate their combat capabilities if you can. They can certainly make themselves a threat with the right setup, but they are more likely to instead offer a treat to the opposition just to make sure that both sides are happy, even if it means their trainers aren't.
Thank you all for watching this video. It is always a pleasure to help teach others about the world of Pokemon and the many facets of it that exist in both the world we call home and the world they call home. If you'd like, please leave a comment and subscribe and ring the bell to this channel to get regular updates on content and anything else that might be going on. You can find me and my written work on DeviantArt under the name Untitled, and be informed of information and content uploads on my Twitter page and my Patreon page. Donations are always welcome. Always remember, the world of Pokemon is a vast and varied place, and there's no telling what secrets might be hiding just around the corner. So keep watch, stay vigilant, and always prepare for the unexpected. Until next time, have a wonderful rest of the day.